In the headlines, police in Kaduna discover improvised explosive device as residents panic. Search and rescue for people drowned in Niger River begins. NLC opposes Wike's presidential bid. And on the foreign scene, UN warns of Ukraine refugee humanitarian crisis as another 40,000 people leave the country in 24 hours. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining. And now the details. Police in Kaduna on Thursday discovered an improvised explosive device along Shanono area of Rigasa community in Igabi local government area of the state. The device was concealed inside rubber bucket and dumped close to a stream by unknown persons on Thursday morning. A resident of the area, Tejani Haruna Shehu, told Trust TV that the rubber bucket was sealed with sellotape, making people nearby suspicious. According to him, there were wires connected into the bucket that was sealed. Hundreds of residents gathered from afar to witness how the device was disabled. No casualties recorded. The second device was disabled by anti-bomb squad of the state command.
When my neighbor came, he said it was a bomb. I pitched it and threw it in the gutter, believing that it will not explode in the water.
I was coming at about 9:23 a.m. this morning. I now saw women with children running from the community called Kona Shanono in Regasa area. So I have to stop and ask what is happening. And one woman was narrated to me that they saw bomb in their area. That is why the security personnel asked them to vacate.
In the meantime, Joint Intelligence Service claims it has uncovered forest settlements serving as hideout for armed bandits and kidnappers attacking travelers along Abuja-Kaduna Highway. This is coming as the Nigerian Air Force airstrikes killed scores of bandits on Wednesday after obtaining intelligence on their movement in the same axis. PR Nigeria reports that NAV aircraft launched attack on the bandits moving along Akilubu Sarkin Power Road near Mongoro village, while those fleeing were eliminated. A domestic intelligence operative told the online medium that 34 dead bodies of the bandits were so far counted during a mopping up operation. The report said that intelligence agency, after the attack on an Abuja-Kaduna train, identified 3 locations as destinations of bandits after most attacks within their axis. Meanwhile, victims of bandits' attack on Abuja-Kaduna train continue to share the harrowing experience of audacious ambush on passengers. At least 26 passengers sustained injuries. 9 dead bodies have been recovered. Fatima Ladan visits St. Gerard Hospital, where victims are responding to treatment. The report.
The attack on Abuja-Kaduna train on Monday night will remain on the minds of many for a very long time. Fatima is one of the victims of the attack, and the trauma she went through cannot be forgotten easily.
Muna tafiya kawai like 20 minutes to arrive to Kaduna.
We were on the train 20 minutes to arrive in Kaduna. The train started shaking and it drilled from the track and stopped. There was sporadic gunshots from all angles and the security men in the train asked us to lie. So after we laid down, the gunshot persisted. I was in the VIP when the bandits broke the door and we were on our knees with our hands up. They took away some people. There were many very young boys within the ranges of 18, 20 to 22 years. They spoke strange languages. I speak Fulfulde and Hausa, but they spoke very strange languages. Their mode of dressing was unlike Nigerians. The first time we were rushed to the hospital, we got treatment and nobody asked us to pay anything. We got emergency treatment when we came around 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning. We were asked to pay hospital bill. When Deputy Governor came around 7 a.m., she directed that all injured victims should undergo free x-ray, but after she left, We had to pay 5,000 each for the x-ray.
Not many of the victims are fortunate to survive with injury like Fatima. She is discharged to go home, but scars are still in hospital. Whereabouts of several others is still not known, leaving their loved ones in agony and uncertainty. Fatima Salaladen, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
A 17-year-old Isa Hassan, popularly known as Shahide, has been arrested for removing one eye of a 12-year-old Mustafa Yunusa of Nantsinke area of Tarauni local government area of Kano State. Shahide removed Mustafa's eye on the order of a traditional herbalist, a 107-year-old woman, to do a disappearing charm for him. Speaking, the father of the boy, Dahiru Ahmad, said that he took him to his best friend, Malam Arama, for schooling in Nantsinke area. Shahide confessed to having committed the crime. Reacting to the development, the police command in Kano, through its spokesperson, SP Abdullahi Haruna Kiawa, said that the police will investigate the case and charge them accordingly. A customs officer, Mawia Gambo Turaki, and 9 others have been abducted in Kofar Gayang low-cost Zaria, Kaduna State, after bandits invaded the area on Wednesday. Confirming the incident, the ward head of the area, Muhammad Nazifi, said those kidnapped include his son, Jamalu Mawia Gambo Turaki, a customs officer who arrived home from his duty post just yesterday, and his son, Khalifa. This is the second time bandits will invade Kofar Gayang locals and abduct people. Sometime last year, the bandits invaded the neighborhood and abducted the wife of another customs officer and a woman, but released them after 15 million naira ransom was paid. Reports say that security operatives responded to a distress call, but the bandits had taken away the victims before they arrived. Now, still staying with security matters, no fewer than 20 people, including women and children, have reportedly drowned in Guni-Zumba River on Wednesday morning as they were fleeing from bandits' attack on Guni and Kurbaku communities in Munya local government area of Niger State. The victims were crossing the river to Zumba and Gwanda IDP camps in the boat. One of the sources, Michael Madaki, told our correspondent that 13 bodies had been recovered and buried. The Niger State Police Command Public Relations Officer DSP Wasiu Abiodun had not responded to calls and a message sent to him by our correspondent as at the time of filing this report. Now, reactions have continued to trail declaration of intention to run for the 2023 presidency by the Rivers State Governor, Nyesom Wike. In an interview in Port Harcourt, the state capital, Itubo, accused the governor of subjecting civil servants and pensioners in the state to untold hardship. The report.
Chairman of the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, in the state, Beatrice Itubo, said their members will not support Governor Wike's presidential bid due to his alleged poor performance regarding welfare of civil servants in the state.
As charity, they say, begins at home. Let him come home and pay retirees their gratuities, pay pension arrears, promote workers and pay them, employ. The system is empty. It's not just to run from here and want to go to Abuja. There in Abuja, we will kill all the workers in Nigeria. So let him start the whole thing here so that we can be able to give him the support. Without that, he will not have my support.
While some residents support Governor Wike's 2023 ambition, others express displeasure with the manner he has treated retired workers on payment of gratuity and welfare of civil servants. They said despite the infrastructure development witnessed in some parts of the state, there is the need for human capital development like job creation.
Nigeria is a broader region whereby if he thinks he can run the state, bringing down a level of insecurity, well, I'll give him that to him. Bringing down but there are areas he has to also look into. Is it payment of gratuities, which he has not done the past 4 or 5 years to retired people in this state? Is it looking at the promotion of civil servants that he has not done, promotion of teachers that he has not done, not assisting the youths who are students? and so many other issues.
The only thing is that he's working, the way I have seen him here, he's working, but the only problem he has, people were, the way people are criticizing him about his leadership because of this, between him and this Ikoku and, but other areas, I think, I have not seen anything wrong in his leadership.
Personally, what I have against him that has not gone down well with me, the demonstration secondary school in UST, I learned that since he took up the office, he has not paid them. And that is welfare. You building flyovers without this welfare or human development, how then do we survive?
Like that area of civil servant complaining and all that, my brother, even when Jesus Christ was on earth, people complain. So Wike is not God and he cannot do all things. But by the grace of God, for a little one which I know, like that area of promotion of civil servants and all that, I believe in God that if they should give him more time, he will do better. My advice for him, he should be able to network his whatever development strategy in other aspects, such as education, employment. We have changed the infrastructure. Here is like a mini London now. We can begin to call the name Garden City, as the name implied before.
Itubo also called on workers in the state to get their permanent voters' cards in readiness to vote for credible candidates in the 2023 general elections.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up shortly. How a 35-year-old mechanical engineer in Katsina State makes a breakthrough in farming. This and more after the break. Thanks for staying. You're watching Trust News Update. Here's a look at the top stories again. Police in Kaduna on Thursday discovered an improvised explosive device along Shanono area of Rigasa community in Igabi local government area of the state. Plus, no fewer than 20 people, including women and children, have reportedly drowned in Guni-Zumba River in Niger State on Wednesday morning as they were fleeing from bandits' attack. Elsewhere, the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 has said that the use of face masks in public places is now optional, while the decision on the final relaxation of the measures will be taken after Easter. The head of the Technical Secretariat, who also doubles as the Secretary of the PSC on COVID-19, Dr. Mukhtar Mohammed, disclosed this in an interview with The Punch in Abuja. Countries across the world have started relaxing COVID-19 measures. Recently, Ghana, a West African country, announced that the use of face masks was no longer mandatory. Nigeria has continued to witness a drop in the number of daily COVID-19 cases. The PSC also announced that it will stop demanding proof of PCR test from fully vaccinated travelers. Meanwhile, data from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency has revealed that a total of 12,139,797 persons have been fully vaccinated in Nigeria, while 18,942,020 persons have been partially vaccinated. The Primary Healthcare Development Agency announced that the Moderna, AstraZeneca, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson brands of COVID-19 vaccines were available for individuals willing to vaccinate. Over 3 million children and pregnant women in Zamfara State will benefit from health interventions the state government is providing to prevent outbreak of polio and tetanus. Executive Secretary, Zamfara State Primary Healthcare Development Board, Dr. Ismail Tukur, said the aim of the intervention is to further build the immune system of children and women. The report.
Zamfara State embarks on 5 days campaign against polio, tetanus and neonatal and infant mortality across the state, with a view to boosting immunity of 2 million children and 1.5 million women of childbearing age. The Executive Secretary, Zamfara State Primary Healthcare Development Board, Dr. Ismail Tukur, said the health interventions are being carried out simultaneously in the state, such as vitamin A, child spacing services, among others. He said there is a little resistance against polio and child spacing services because relevant stakeholders, including traditional rulers, have been helping to mobilize residents within their domains to allow women and children accept the free health services the state government is providing to protect people.
Yeah, for the campaign, the OBR, that's the outbreak response that we are talking about on the 5 population, we are looking about 2 million children. Yes, we are looking about 2 million children, while for the MNCH week, we are putting together the women and children. So if you look at women of childbearing age in the population, they constitute about 20%. And 20% of our population of about 5.7%, 5.7 million, you find out that we are talking about another 1.6 or 1 million thereabouts. So if you add about 2 million plus this 1 million, totally we are targeting about 3.something million people that are going to benefit from this activity altogether. Yes, there is no activity that come without a challenge. I think one of the challenges is, if you are providing process, you find that even people that are not eligible to come out and they want to also benefit. You find that we have age range for this exercise. Mostly we are targeting children under 5, we are targeting women of a reproductive age group.
The state nutritionist Ismaila Umar visits some rural communities in Bungudu and Maru local government areas of the state to monitor and assess the level of compliance. He speaks on what he observed.
It is impressive because, as you can see, as I'm moving with you to supervise the program, we have visited some communities and we have seen how our team members are, giving the intervention to our children, which is very impressive. We went to Purupuri, and then from Purupuri we moved to Bungudu, and then from Bungudu we came down to this place, Maru local government, which is just very impressive. The caregivers are coming out with the intervention, which I believe my call to them is let them continue to come out to receive the intervention, because it is an opportunity for them. It is an opportunity given to them by the state government in collaboration with donor agencies like UNICEF, WHO, and whatever. Because after this, for them to get this opportunity, it will be another time. So I'm calling on them to come out and receive the interventions, which include immunization, vitamin A supplementation, iron folate, albendazole, and whatever. So, it is very impressive as caregivers are coming out with their children to receive the intervention, which I believe, as I said, we will continue to call on them to come out, because the exercise starts yesterday and it will end up to Thursday.
The Executive Secretary commends relevant partners and stakeholders in ensuring the success of the health interventions to safeguard the lives of children and women in the state.
A 35-year-old graduate of mechanical engineering in Katsina State, Abdullahi Bature, has made a breakthrough in farming. Bature produces Irish potatoes in Keita local government area, considered as semi-arid zone where Irish potatoes cannot grow. Keita is located a few kilometers to Niger Republic, but endowed with fertile land with potential to grow variety of farm produce. Abdullahi Amadi visits the farm and filed in this report.
The mechanical engineer who said he started cultivating Irish potatoes here 2 years ago, described it as a profitable venture, considering the soil fertility of the area, which requires the application of only manure to get the best yield.
Basically, it's like now, it's like I have already harvested 1/3 of the planted Irish potato that on the ground. So I'm now expecting like about 15 tons on the ground, inshallah. Okay.
This solar-powered borehole is being used by Abdullahi Bature to provide enough water for the irrigation activities, which enables him to produce other farm produce such as cabbage, pepper, onions, and tomatoes, among others. In 2022 alone, the young farmer produced over 800 bags of 50 kg Irish potatoes here, which he said happens to be one of the best in terms of size and quality. Abdullahi Bature, who apparently looks more happier with the value chain than the yield, told Trust Television that he employs over 10 people to work on the farm on daily basis, which he engages about 25 people on special occasions. This beside his customers in Sokoto, Kaduna, Kano, and the Federal Capital Territory. He, however, speaks on some of the constraints involved in irrigation farming and Irish potatoes production.
The only challenge, let the government come in to see the possibility of creating employment toward this production of Irish potato, because we have the market, and I know that inshallah, if we can coordinate, we can produce more than our expectation.
In spite of all these challenges, experts say the most amazing thing is that one can bring anything from anywhere and grow it anywhere in the northern part of the country. Abdullahi Ismail, Trust Television News, Katsina.
And in business, Brent, the crude against which Nigeria's oil is priced, moved up in price to $114 per barrel on Wednesday, rising by $3.72 or 3.37% when compared to the previous day's cost. Its rise in price followed the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, as the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries raised the alarm that the crisis was also costing the energy market more than 7 million barrels of crude oil daily. The Secretary General, OPEC, Sanusi Barkindo, disclosed this at the 61st meeting of the Joint Technical Committee of the organization via video conference. Barkindo told the meeting that the leading international organizations and institutions came together in the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic to endorse efforts to stabilize the energy market. And on the foreign scene, United Nations said on Thursday the refugee exodus from Ukraine is a massive humanitarian crisis that is growing by the second after another 40,000 fled the country in 24 hours. The flow of the people fleeing across the western borders to escape the Russian assault on Ukraine has settled at around 40,000 a day over the past week. The UN Refugee Agency, UNHCR, said 4,059,105 Ukrainians have fled across the country's borders since the February 24 invasion, a figure that increased by up to 39,818 on Wednesday's numbers, which surpassed the 4 million mark. Reports say that women and children account for 90% of those who have fled. Half of those are children, and Ukrainian men aged 18 to 60 are eligible for a military call-up and cannot leave. Finally, in sports news, the Nigeria Football Federation has tendered an apology to the federal government and Nigerians for the failure of the Super Eagles to qualify for this year's World Cup finals in Qatar. The NFF General Secretary Dr. Mohammed Sanusi regretted that the team failed to qualify despite the enormous support of the government and Nigerians who turned out in trunks to fill up the 60,491 capacity Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, for the clash with Ghana's Black Stars on Tuesday. The Super Eagles could only achieve a score draw 1-1 against the Black Stars, which ended their hopes of playing at the World Cup finals in Qatar as Ghana sneaked through on the away goal rule. And that wraps up Trust News Update. Connect with us via our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch other contents. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for watching.